So why is a NABCEP trainer talking about a $200 plug-in solar kit? That's a fair question. I've spent about 15 years in the solar industry training PV professionals. You've all seen it. I've worked around residential systems, commercial systems, rooftop solar, O&M, ground mounts, inverters, batteries, pretty much the whole stack. And for most of that time, I barely paid attention to this balcony or plug-in solar. The funny thing is, I had seen it everywhere in Europe, and balconies with small modules hanging off them or full modules hanging off them, compact system feeding power into apartments. I've seen it. I freaked out at first, but people are using solar in ways that look completely different from what I was used to seeing in the United States. And honestly, I didn't think much about it. I saw it, but I didn't really see it because a lot of people in this industry, I had this idea that wasn't really solar. It was too small, it was too simple, and maybe even a little gimmicky. I've seen it. I changed my mind though. The more I look at where solar is going, the more I realize we've built an industry that is pretty high on the barrier list to entry. If you think about it, if you want a traditional rooftop solar system, you usually need to own a house, you need a roof that works for solar, you need good credit score and enough cash to finance the project, or somebody else owns it. There's permitting, utility interconnect, contractors, inspection, and systems that could easily cost $15, $20, $30, $100,000. And that works for a lot of people, but it doesn't work for everybody. What about the person renting an apartment? What about somebody living in a condo? What about a homeowner who likes solar but simply doesn't have the 20 grand sitting around for years? This has basically been the situation. Solar isn't for you, and I don't think that's a good enough anymore. I don't. Plug-in solar is not going to replace properly designed rooftop systems. Nope, not at all. I'm not making that argument. What's interesting to me is that it may give somebody their first opportunity to actually participate in solar energy. Maybe it offsets a refrigerator. Maybe it helps with daytime loads. Maybe the savings are modest, but that person is producing some of their own electricity. And once they experience that, something is going to change within them. You start watching your energy consumption. You start understanding kilowatt hours. You start asking where your electricity comes from, and maybe that $200 or $500 solar setup becomes the first step towards something bigger. Over the next few months, I'm going to dig into this, not hype. I want to look at real savings, the electrical safety, the regulations, the utilities, the equipment, and where plug-in solar actually makes sense and where it doesn't. Because after 15 years of teaching solar, I've started to believe something pretty strongly. The future of solar may not be bigger systems. It may also be making solar small enough that almost anybody can participate. If you're an installer, homeowner, condo owner, or renter who's ever been told solar isn't for you or your place isn't right, just stick around. We're going to put that assumption to the test. This is Emmett with the What's Up Solar Podcast. Peace.